So you'll walk up these stairs tonight.
I will.
And out onto this stage.
I will.
You're used to speeches, but
Yeah,
is there any trepidation?
You know, listen, I think I'll probably get nervous right before. You know, I'm confident about my father. I'm confident about our message. You know, I guess we're lucky. We're used to being put in those kind of spots. I mean, this is 25, 35 million people. I mean, that's a whole different world. I mean, I recognize the gravity of that, but honestly, I don't want to think about that. I'm talking to Americans. I'm talking on behalf of my father. That's something I do every day. And so it shouldn't be that far out of the norm, you know, understanding the full gravity of the situation.
But as you stand here and you see all the delegates will be in this room here tonight.
Well, I'm one of them. I'll get to throw him over the top today.
That's right. You're going to help do that.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually be the vote that casts him over the 1237.
There will be millions, of course, watching at home,
Yes.
just as they were last night.
Yeah.
A lot of people are now pointing to the speech your dad's wife gave last night, Melania. Did you write your speech
I did.
tonight?
I did.
No help.
Well, look, we have, obviously, listen, a speech of this level, of this gravity, we're not politicians, right? We're not political wonks. So we have people that do it, but we have to infuse, you know, and they work with us and we, you know, look through it and stuff like that with our brothers and, you know, my sister. You know, and obviously some people that do this for a living, but I think, you know, you end up with sort of a block and then you have to make it your own. And so I think you started off with something that's a block and then probably 75% of it all is all your own original thought because you have to do it that way. I think it's the only way it's genuine.
I know that you have now seen the comparisons side by side. Melania Trump's speech next to Michelle Obama's speech.
A little bit. I've been a little bit busy today, but yeah, I've seen some of it.
But you've seen the
snippets.
parts.
Yeah.
What do you make of the striking similarities?
Listen, you know, I don't think there was anything in there that's that novel in terms of those particular lines. I mean, when she talks about immigration, when she talks about her son, when she talks about having gone through that process legally, to me that was the stuff that was much more striking, right? Those are the things that really matter. Those are the people she's really touching. And when she talks about my father as a guy,
but
the stuff that I saw,
you weren't bothered by the striking similarity.
I saw pretty common words in there. You know, honestly, there was no novel thought in that. Now, of course, when you work with speechwriters and something like that, perhaps something gets mixed up. But like honestly, what I was more concerned about and what I was more proud of her about was to be able to get on that stage having never done this before. Someone who's, listen, she's maintained, you know, a pretty private lifestyle despite everything that's going on, and because she wants to be that. She's an incredible mother, you know, to my younger brother. She does that. That's the person she wants to be. And so to be able to get on the stage and be able to deliver a speech with that much confidence, with that much emotion, for me, 90% of this is about the delivery. But to be able to do that for my father, I think was amazing.
I think a lot of people think the delivery was spot on, but she did say in an interview that she wrote the speech.
No, what she said was she wrote as much as she possibly could. You know, and again, for a speech of this magnitude, to say that you're not going to have speechwriters, you know, I'd have a hard time doing that, and I speak daily, right? It's very different.
Who did write her speech?
Her? I don't know. I don't know who's involved.
Does anyone in the campaign know?
I don't know. I didn't go that far.
Because there are words like plagiarism out there today. Corey Lewandowski, who used to be with the campaign, has said that if Paul Manafort signed off on that speech, he should go.
You know, listen, Corey said a lot of things these days trying to, I guess, remain a part of the campaign. Paul's done an incredible job with the campaign. The family totally backs him. The level of organization and professionalism he's brought to the campaign in the past few weeks and months has just been outstanding. Hey, I hear it from you guys, from the friends in the press who talk about, hey, it's amazing what's happened. The changes are so incredible. You know, we're really taking it to a thing. I mean, when we got into this a year ago, we'd never done this before. This was totally new. You know, we're going to be, as of tonight, the nominee, the Republican nominee for President of the United States. That's a big deal, and things have to change accordingly. And things have to go. We'll always be a small, lean machine because unlike big government, you know, we don't just throw other people's money at problems and hope that they go away and just have overstaffs. I mean, we have 1/10 the size of the campaign staff as Hillary Clinton, and guess what? We're in the exact same position as she is. We're actually leading in a lot of the states now, especially the swing states, and that's after she spent hundreds of millions of dollars attacking my father, you know, in ads and all this stuff. Guess how much we spent? About zero. You know, when we start doing that, I think it's going to have a real effect because, frankly, you know, given her history, all of the, you know, there's just way too much coincidence there. There can't be that many issues, that much scandal and deceit, and just in public enrichment, you know, pretending to be a great public servant. I wish every public servant made as much money as the Clintons have been able to pull out of government, not having built a single thing, not having done anything other than peddle influence. Hey, the results speak for themselves. You know, my father's going to do a good job. He's going to do great things for this country.
And you will make that case right here tonight.
I will make that case tonight.
Hillary Clinton. There are reports out there that your father is furious about what's followed Melania's speech.
Well, listen, I think you
Is he
obviously.
furious?
I haven't spoken to him yet today. I've been, you know, dealing with a couple other things.
You haven't talked to him at all
I haven't spoken to him today
since
yet.
the speech?
No, I haven't.
Last night?
Yeah, I saw him last night at 11 as he was going off on the motorcade. I had to do a bunch of stuff for the Pennsylvania. I'm a delegate for New York, so we've been keeping pretty busy today. So I haven't spoken to him directly. But listen, obviously he doesn't want that to happen. I think he's just very proud of the job that she did in delivering it. I mean, she did the best that she possibly could. I think it was an amazing thing, and that's not, again, it's not an easy task. We'll see how I hope I do as well in my delivery as she did.
You have a lot of eyes watching tonight.
I do.
I was on the convention floor yesterday.
Yes.
Day one of the convention, just a couple of hours in, and we immediately saw the divisions that still remain inside this Republican Party. You had the never Trump, the stop Trump people.
Listen, I get what you're saying, and I saw how the media, when they lose votes, what is it, 88-12, and they, everyone's trying. I see all these guys and the politicians, they hold their credentials and they wait for the camera to turn on them, and then they throw them on the floor like they're...
So you didn't make much of it?
Honestly, I think it's guys looking for a few minutes of airtime. I've seen them do it time and time again. It's usually the same characters running around doing the same nonsense. They run, they wait for the camera moment, and then they do their dramatic entrance. And, honestly, it's nonsense. I also saw thousands of people chanting Trump and USA, because isn't it what that's about? It's about this country. It's about bringing this country together. It's about how about giving the people what they want. When my father won this nomination, he did it with a record number of GOP voters because he's actually speaking to real Americans. He's not speaking at them like so many of the politicians where, they know everything and we're going to legislate from Washington. We're going to do it better because that's what we do. No, these guys haven't done that. They haven't created real jobs. They haven't had people's livelihoods actually dependent on their success. My father's made a career out of that. And I think that's a big distinction. I think both sides, both parties really have to probably do a better job of actually listening to the voters. Rather than going by this whole, notion that they're these elite guys and they know what's right for you, because that's not the case. I think people know what's right for themselves, they elected my father.
Just a couple more questions here. I'm curious if you think that, do you believe that Michelle Obama is owed an apology in any kind of way because of the similarities in those two speeches?
I don't know. I don't know that Michelle Obama, whoever is involved in this, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think this is something of that magnitude. I mean, I understand it from a media perspective, trying to create a much bigger story out of something than it is, but I really don't think so.
So no apology for the First Lady?
I don't think so. I don't at all.
Do you think a head should roll? Should somebody be fired inside your campaign?
I don't know if it has anything to do with people in campaigns. I mean, again, obviously, a speech of that size of magnitude, you're going to work with speechwriters. I don't know that they should be, involved going forward, but it has nothing to do with a poll or, the other nonsense that I'm hearing around there for people trying to be relevant.
But do you suspect your father is angry that somebody allowed his wife to go out there?
I'm sure he's not thrilled about the situation, but we're going to move on. We're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to have an incredible convention. We're not going to let that dominate the dialogue. Hopefully I'll do a good job tonight. Otherwise, you'll be talking about me this way tomorrow, and I'll be sitting there in the fetal position crying on the stage. I think we'll do okay.
I hardly expect that. You'll be fine out here on the stage, but let me ask you, there were a lot of people who thought day one had a bit of a dark tone to it.
I didn't see that. I mean, from the people that I saw, they saw a lot of excitement. They saw a lot of diversity in the crowd. They saw a lot of diversity in the speakers, actually addressing real issues. And so, again, from what I understand, and I'm new at this, right? I build buildings. I build hotels for a living. That's what I do. So we're pretty new to politics. But from the people that I know, guys like yourself who I've become friendly with on the news cycle, that do this for a living and have done it for 25 years, and say, hey, that was awesome. The level of excitement. It was the best first day of a convention I've seen. I mean, I heard that time and time again. Now, that may not fit, a narrative that everyone's trying. It's rough to fill a 24-hour news cycle. I get it. But that's not the narrative I'm hearing from people on the ground that really get it and then are doing this all the time.
What is the most optimistic note you hope to make tonight?
So I just want to talk about my father as a great American, a guy that's built an incredible business, a guy that can bring common sense, which has just been totally, lost in government and in D.C. Bring that back into the equation with the men and women who built this country, the people who he's speaking to directly, bypassing, again, all of the elites and all of self-proclaimed elites, by the way, but bypassing all of that and just going right to the people who matter. I want to get that through.
When your dad speaks here later in the week, I gather the whole family will be here. Any doubt in your mind that Melania Trump will come back? She plans to come back?
No doubt whatsoever.
No doubt.
No doubt.
And have you talked to her yet?
I haven't. Now, like I said, I haven't even spoken to my kids yet today, which is an embarrassment. I normally like to be all over that, so try to get them before they go to bed. But
what will you say
to her?
What will you say to her?
Listen, I said what I said to her last night, which was she did a phenomenal job. I really, it's not easy. I see that, and I'm going to experience it myself tonight. It's not easy, and I think she did an amazing job.
Don Jr., good luck tonight.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you.